Hello everyone, thank you for joining me. My name is Marty M. Fonke and this is Midweek Momentum. We've got a great topic for you today and one that I hope that you will enjoy. And before I get started on the actual strategy, I want to tell you a story about how this strategy came about. So sit back and relax. That's while I tell you this quick story. I think you're going to enjoy it. Well, for those of you who know me, you know that I am a scout leader, and I have two sons in Scouts. One's in Boy Scouts and one is in Cub Scouts. And I'm also in charge of a large group of deaf Boy Scouts. Matter of fact, the only deaf Cub Scout group in the United States is I'm the committee chair for, so I'm really involved in scouting. And one of my activities is to be a counselor for certain merit badges. When Scouts earn a merit badge, they have to work with what's called a merit badge counselor that helps them earn that merit badge. And one of the merit badges that I'm a counselor for is the Entrepreneur Merit Badge, or the Entrepreneurship Merit Badge. And I was working with my troop at what's called a Merit Badge Forum, which is kind of a couple of days set aside on a weekend just to earn specific merit badges. And the way it worked is we had one class on a Saturday last month, and then we send the boys off with their instructions and information, and they have to go and do certain activities in order to earn the merit badges. And then they come back a month later, and we discuss it, see what they've accomplished, and if they've completed all the requirements, then they've earned the merit badge. So we had a great conversation with 12 Scouts, 12 to 13, 14 years old, most of them, and we discussed a lot of things about entrepreneurship and having your own business. Lots of great energy coming from them, and I was really excited. And some of them were actually, really interested in starting a business. And so we send them off with their information and their energy and a workbook or a little worksheet that they have to complete a variety of tasks in to earn their merit badge. And a month later they come back, and we have our second class. And of the 12 boys who were in the merit badge class, 4 of them actually started a real business, just from the information they learned in the 2 hours of class that we had given them and the workbook that we had given them. I was so excited. I mean, you want to talk about, just the American way. I mean, what an exciting thing to see these kids just energized and enthused about starting a business and becoming entrepreneurs. Well, it gets even more exciting because one of those boys, not only did he start a business, but in 30 days, he started a business that had already grown substantially just from the very first, he went out on the very first day and started his business. And he grew that business, and by the time we got back together 30 days later, he was already growing his business, had added 2 employees, had created a business plan and mapped out enough clientele, including a waiting list, that he was on track to generate $4,500 in revenue just in the next 4 months, which was basically the summer. Now, what kind of business was it? Well, it was a lawn mowing business. But this wasn't a normal lawn mowing business. This was, he had basically taken over an entire neighborhood and managed to secure contracts with an entire neighborhood. And he knew that he couldn't do it himself, and he went out and recruited employees. He negotiated payment. He negotiated contracts for the properties. He went out and negotiated a loan to buy some equipment that he would need to make everything work. And then he did complete financials that enabled him to set up a business plan and a financial plan that he knew he would net $4,500 over the summer. Unbelievable. Isn't that exciting? So this kid is like 13 years old, and just with a little bit of information, a little bit of inspiration, and a lot of perspiration, he went out and started a really cool business. Now, I was really excited about seeing that happen, but when I got deeper into thinking about what these guys had experienced by going through this process of earning the Entrepreneurship Merit Badge, I realized that what they were learning in that class was actually really useful to real-life grown-up businesses. And so I was looking over the Merit Badge workbook, and I'm showing that on the screen now. And I started realizing there's some good stuff in here. And as you may know, I do a lot of coaching and I do a lot of consulting of business owners across the country. One of the things that struck me as I was looking over this Merit Badge workbook was that if the average business, either getting started or already in existence, would just ask themselves the questions that are in this Merit Badge workbook, this Boy Scout workbook, their business would be light years ahead. So I just wanted to touch on a few of those questions tonight that you can yourself about your business, because they're really critical, and a lot of businesses aren't following these instructions, and they're pretty simple. So here's what I'm going to do. The first workbook is really about starting a business, and most of our attendees for Midweek Women already have a business, but we'll just touch on these. It talks about identifying an individual who has started his or her own business. I really like that idea. One of the things that I always encourage with business owners that I'm working with is that they have either a mentor, which is somebody who has already been successful in a business similar to their business, who can guide them and teach them and instruct them, or they should have a mastermind group. Either one is suitable, both is even better. And here in step 2 of the Entrepreneur Merit Badge, it says identify and interview an individual who has started his or her own business. You know how many people start businesses without asking for advice before they get started? A lot. And they shouldn't do that. So right here are some great advice about asking somebody else about ideas for getting their business started. Now, it talks about writing down as many ideas as you can for a business, which is great. Like ones that are good for you. And then for the businesses that you want to choose, prepare a list of questions that you would ask potential customers. Now, I like that idea, and here's why. A lot of business owners never actually reach out to their customers and ask them, hey, how are we doing? Are we doing a good job for you? What areas can we improve? What's working for you and what's not working for you? Are there other products and services that you need that we're not providing? Maybe there's opportunities there. So this simple thing, prepare a list of questions that you would ask potential or current customers, is something that you as a business owner should be thinking about doing. All right. Next list here, let's see. All right, here's the next step. Identify your business goals. Wow. That seems so simple, but do you know how many people don't have business goals? You know, I do a lot of coaching, as I mentioned, and I was coaching a business out in California in February, so this was just under 2 months ago. And as I was starting to understand the fundamentals of their business so that I could coach them properly, I said what I thought was a simple question that would be easy to answer, and I just asked them, hey, what was your gross revenue for last year, and what was your net profit? Guess what? They didn't know. They did not know how much revenue they'd generated in the last year and how much profit they made from it. And that is not uncommon for business owners to be out of touch with their goals and where they are in achieving their goals. They aren't measuring, they aren't setting the goals, and they aren't measuring to see if they're achieving those goals. That's a big mistake. You need to be thinking about that. Whether you're starting a business or you're working in an existing business, it is important for you to have those business goals and to be measuring how you're doing in accomplishing them. So let's see, what else can we learn from the Boy Scout Entrepreneurship Merit Badge? Okay, this is one right here that I find quite interesting. It says, determine how you can make enough of the goods or provide enough of the service to meet your business goals, and explain how you will accomplish this. This is one of my favorite areas of opportunity when I'm working with clients who are in the service business, whether they be coaches or consultants themselves, whether they be instructors or trainers, whether they be professional service providers like accountants or chiropractors, any kind of professional service that charges by the hour, I find almost always has a problem with this right here. And let me tell you what the problem is. Let's say I sit down with somebody and identify your business goals, and I'm working with a client and they say, well, my goal is to make, X amount of money per year, $100,000 per year or $200,000 per year or whatever that number might be. And then I say, okay, that's great. Now basically what you're selling is your time. So how many hours a week do you have to sell? And they come up with some number that's, usually unrealistic, and I have to help them come up with the real number. And then I say, and how much do you charge per hour? It's a simple mathematical equation, but it almost never adds up. I have people who charge $35 an hour and only have 3 hours a day to actually execute on their business, and the rest of the time they do other stuff, and they have aspirations of making $250,000 a year. Well, the math doesn't work. So this is an area that is really important to look at. Is it mathematically possible for you to provide the goods and services that you need in order to accomplish your goals? And a lot of business owners never answer that question up front and never answer that question on go. Make sure as you are looking at your business, you're answering that question. All right. What's another one? Here we go. Describe the unique benefits of your good or service. Another place that I see a lot of people making a mistake. A lot of times people are in what they consider to be a commodity business, anything from graphic designers to bookkeepers. Well, those can be commodity businesses because there may be tens of thousands of them who are, across America. But the important thing is to find what's unique about your business. Every business is owned by a person, and every person is unique. And you always have something unique, a special spin that nobody else can offer. And you need to find what that is, and that's your selling point. That's how you can make more money than your competition. That's how you can get more business in the door than your competition. So describe the unique benefits of your good or service. So I saw that and I thought, that's something a lot of my clients are struggling with, and so I pulled that up as an idea as well. All right, and what else we need to look at from the Boy Scout Entrepreneurship Merit Badge worksheet. I think there was another one. Here we go. This is one that I really liked. Determine whether you will need additional help to operate your business. Being an entrepreneur is fun and very rewarding, and it can be something that, I think if you have the right temperament for it, it's the best thing in the world. But the one thing that I see as a huge mistake that clients make that I'm talking with is not asking for help quickly enough or not hiring help quickly enough. Don't make that mistake. I had a client, I have a client currently, who I was talking with recently, and there was a particular project that was going to take her about 40 or 50 hours to complete because there was a steep learning curve to executing on it. It was a technical issue. And she was going on and on about how she's going to find the time to do it and just kind of frazzled about it. And finally I said, I need you to stop a minute, and I need you to find out how much it would cost to have somebody else do this for you. And she just kind of stopped and she said, I hadn't even thought of that. So she contacted a vendor, and guess what? The vendor did it in 5 hours for $50 an hour. It cost $250 to get this problem solved. And this business owner would have spent 40 or maybe 50 hours doing it herself. And her time is worth $200 an hour. What's the difference? Well, you need to be looking at what help you can bring on to operate your business. Leverage. It's all about leverage. It's all about outsourcing to qualified vendors who can do things better and faster than you ever could. And you've got to, again, it comes back to the math. Do the math. If somebody can do it cheaper and faster than you, hire them to do it. You do what you do best, which is run your core business. Okay, so that's it. Those are some of the tips that I wanted to just talk to you today about how to either start a business or things to think about when you're starting a business, or if you have an existing business, that are taken directly from the Entrepreneurship Merit Badge from the Boy Scouts of America. If you would like a copy of this document just for reference or just to go through the questions and ask yourself this information as a checklist, feel free to email me at marty@fankey.com, marty@fawnkey.com, and I will send it to you so that you can have it. I really just could not believe how effective this little document drafted for 14-year-olds could help any business of any size. Oh, one other thing I wanted to talk about. You see this little picture right here? This is the actual merit badge. Let me zoom in here because it's kind of cool. Okay, this is the actual merit badge that the scouts would earn and sew onto their sash if they earned the merit badge, which several of them did last Saturday. But I love this picture. It's a hand reaching for a star, and what a great icon for entrepreneurship. That is really what it's all about. I mean, the sky is the limit for entrepreneurs, and you really are reaching for the stars when you whoever designed that merit badge for entrepreneurship. Kudos to them. All right, that is today's tip for Midweek Momentum. It's all about the Entrepreneurship Merit Badge and how it applies to your business. My name is Marty M. Fankey. I'm your host, and if you'd like more tips and ideas just like this, you can join me every Wednesday for Midweek Momentum at midweekmomentum.com.